Hello, people. How are we doing today? So, I wanted to talk about the importance of having financial structure because my few years on earth, I've seen quite a lot of things. I've seen high earners, low earners, all struggle. Yes, so you have somebody earning a lot but still live from paycheck to paycheck, and you wonder why that's the case. And from my experience, I've seen that the first thing is lack of financial structure. So some people just live from income to the next income. It's popularly called hand to mouth, which means when your income comes in, you don't even know where it goes. You just know that you have to wait for the next paycheck. You have to survive one way or the other, and most times by taking loans or taking from friends, from family. And the truth is, there's no coming back from that. The more you go through that cycle, the more, no matter how much your income increases, it's not going to change anything if you don't take a pause to structure your finances. And one of the major things that I've, in my personal experience, seen works over time, regardless of what your income is the subject of budgeting. Now, this is not very common to us in Africa because we are taught that plus your money and the money of others, you know, all is for spending. And the downside of that is that you're going to continue to burn through all your income and not have anything to fall back to or use in bettering your chances, right? Which means you need to take a pause and look at your finances. What structure do I need to put in place? So, for example, when I started earning 38K some years ago, the first thing I did was to write out a budget. And the plan of the budget is to make me not spend more than 18,000 a month. Now, this was a very tall order because in Port Harcourt, how do you survive on 18,000? And I remember talking to a friend of mine at that time and, encouraging him to save something, even if it's just 5,000. And this guy was earning, I think, 100K at the time. And he tells me, oh, there are too many responsibilities. I cannot afford to save anything. And I told him that I was saving 20K from my 38K salary, and I don't have any other income. So I don't think it should be difficult for him to save even his 5,000. And he laughed at me and said, well, maybe it's because I just started working, so I don't understand what responsibilities are, you know. But I kept bugging him because this was my friend who has helped me, interestingly, even helped me find the next job I had after that one. So I kept bugging him until he took the step and started putting something aside. And some years down the line, when an opportunity came up, it was that savings that he was able to channel into that opportunity, and he was able to, scale up from there. Now, what am I saying in essence is that you need to take a pause and look at your finances. What structure can I put here that would ensure that even if I don't enjoy my best life now, I can enjoy it sometime down the line, right? And the first thing you need is a budget. What is a budget? A budget is just a document that explains how your income and expenses flow. So if I'm earning 100K, how does it flow? Do I spend 150K or 200K every month on an 100K income? Because if I'm doing that, it means that I'm spending 2 months' salary in a month, which means I'm always going to be indebted indefinitely. And many people are doing that unconsciously. So it's important for you to take a pause and ask yourself, where is my income going to? What are those things that I can afford to live without, for example? I remember when I was dating my wife, and I told her that I'm not a fan of Ashwebi. And saying that to to an Ijebu woman is like looking for trouble. And I explained the reasons why, and I said that I don't believe in buying one occasion clothes that most likely I'm not able to wear again after that. And I just feel like it's a sinkhole. It's not an investment. It doesn't bring any returns. So why should I? And thank God she bought into the idea. And since we've been married almost 10 years now, we've never bought any Ashwebi, and it works for us. Now, does it mean that if you can afford to buy Ashwebis, you should not do it? Of course, you can if you can afford it. But if you're doing it at the expense of other more important things like your own personal, investing in your own personal self, for example, I'd rather wear rags for 10 years and then be wealthy for the rest of my life than wear designers for 10 years and begin to wear rags afterwards. So it's just a decision that you make considering what is available to you. So for example, if I need to increase my appetite, it means I need to increase my productivity as well. The more I'm able to produce, the more I'm able to afford, right? So if I'm not producing at a high level, I shouldn't be having high taste. That's just what it means. And this thing is something that is eating deep into the lives of many people, especially in Africa, where we are not taught anything about financial management and things like that. Your personal finance is to a large extent your key to achieving your dreams. Nobody is coming to save you. You are the only one who's going to save yourself, right? So I remember when I saw the opportunity to begin to trade crypto, I couldn't get funding from anywhere. It was first the savings that I had, the little savings that I had, that I used to experiment. And then I saw that, oh, this thing could really bring me financial freedom. And I went all in. It gave me the confidence to approach other people, show them the evidence of what I've been able to do with my own funds. And they invested in me. And then the rest, they say, is history. So you need to have that financial structure that helps you to build a buffer for yourself when opportunities come, because opportunities will always come. Unfortunately, if they come and meet you unprepared, it will move to the next person. you know and so you have to have a budget. If you have an income and you don't have a budget, you're most likely going to run into financial ruin sooner or later, right? And this also will inform many other decisions you're going to make, right? So for example, there was some months ago when I lost a large part of my income, and it was becoming difficult to afford many things. I had to take a pause, had a family meeting, and we cut many things off, and started to manage how we make expenses. In fact, we cut down our expenses by more than 5 times, you know, and we did not lose much in terms of our quality of life, you know. And that's one thing that we most often don't realize until we sit down and you know, take some records to see, okay, what is really going on here? And then you see that most of the things that you have been burning money on are even totally avoidable. Yes. And so if you're going to do that, you see that after a while you would have something to work with. If it's to go and get a new degree, if it's to go and get a new training, if it's to invest into something or somewhere or someone, you would have those opportunities and those options. And I believe that if you're able to put that in place, you'll be able to, maybe one of these days I can make a video on or show you a spreadsheet of how to create a simple budget that you can use to work with. Yeah, so thanks for listening. Catch you some other time.